Christmas to you, or Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, whatever you may be celebrating. My name is Scott. I represent the selling GameSLAM here with Sergio and Mike for a very special Christmas edition of the show. We have decorated the tree. We are feeling festive with a nice Snoopy sweater. And it is the season of giving, people. It is gift giving season, and with it being, such a, for a lot of people, stressful year, it had a lot of ups and downs, but overall it's been really a year we will remember for many different reasons, and I think it's important to just have a positive mindset and try to remember the good things that happened this year. And so we have been, fully diving into the spirit of Christmas. And with that, I wanted to first show a handful of pickups that I have accumulated throughout 2020 off screen. They weren't a part of a different video that we've done. And also towards the end of this video, we will be doing some gift giving. So for everyone who lives here in the GameSLAM house, there will be gifts that I will be handing out. There is one member, one of our roommates who is not here at the moment, who does not know this video is happening and does not know that there's a sneaky gift for that member of the house. But I will be going over my pickups and giving Sergio and Mike their gifts to start us off. Quite a hodgepodge of things that I'm about to show. There really wasn't a streamlined order I could go in to show these things off, so I'm really just shooting from the cuff and trying to group them at least a little bit consistently. So we're going to start out with some cartridge games. We're going to start out with the old school stuff and one slightly newer school item. So I was able to pick up a couple cartridge games from our friend Austin, starting out with Tony Hawk Pro Skater on the Nintendo 64. It was a game that Kevin and I always rented. I always thought that the blue cartridge was just so cool. It stood out. If you see a line of 64 games and you see the blue one, you know that it's probably Tony Hawk or 007 The World Is Not Enough. And so we had to pick that one up. Such a fun game. But besides N64, I did get a couple of NES cartridges from Austin. A couple staples for the library that it's a little embarrassing I didn't have them already. But we picked up Excite Bike and also Contra. Contra, one of the best co-ops on the NES. I would maybe argue the best. And Excite Bike, it's just a classic. I mean, anything with this kind of label, with the Nintendo Entertainment System, like the Mario, Duck Hunt, Donkey Kong, I feel like you gotta get all those if you want to be, one of the elite collectors of the Nintendo. So besides that, moving on to Sega World, I also picked up from Austin a complete copy of Sword of Vermilion. And I honestly didn't really know anything about this game, but I have been trying to, here and there, pick up a few more Genesis games. Between Genesis and Dreamcast, I really want to expand my Sega library, and I do have a goal for 2021 to pick up a Sega Saturn, so we'll see how that plays out. That's easier said than done. And the last of the technically cartridge games that I wanted to show is something I picked up at a game store, actually. I turned in a lot of what you would call the junk games that either I was never going to play or I had doubles of. A lot of DS games and PS2 games I didn't want. And so I was able to get trade credit for turning those in. And I picked up a game that I actually wanted. And it is Kingdom Hearts 358 and a half days. Yes, I got that number right, 358 and a half. And this is one that Adam told us about in the Kingdom Hearts special earlier this year. And because I have the first game and Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance, I wanted to pick up a DS game as well so I can continue trying out Kingdom Hearts games on different platforms. So you're going to see a little pattern start to emerge here. I'm going to go with some games and some not games, and games and not games. So going to the not games category, I wanted to show another thing I picked up from Austin. He at least spotted the deal and relayed it to me. And this is a thick boy right here. We picked up an original Xbox. Look at that, the original Xbox. So with everyone clamoring about I don't even know what the new one is called. So there's PS5 and then is it Xbox One S? That doesn't even make sense to me. Quick tangent. You went from Xbox to 360 to Xbox One and then One S, I think. Very confusing. I always thought we were going to get a Y box after this, but to be determined what happens with that. But you know, it's just a console that obviously I never had. And I feel like, at least from what I've heard from Austin, there are many titles within the Xbox that are in that hidden gem category, because everyone knows Halo, Halo 2, but they don't necessarily know many of the other games that came out for that system. And I guess if we're going with some 2021 wish list items, one game that I would like to find that I played back in the day at a friend's house is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. That game was really, really cool, at least from what I remember when I was a kid, the uniqueness of the story. And with all these Star Wars shows they're coming out with now, Mandalorian, soon to be Obi-Wan Kenobi will have his show. There's an Ahsoka show. I hope I said her name right. You know, really feeling the Star Wars stories outside of the main episodes. So pretty fired up to pick the Xbox up. Of course, Austin gave me a good deal as always, and we will be looking to add to that collection next year. Going back to games, we are switching to the disc variety. So a lot of mid-2000s here. A lot of mid-2000s. I think one of these might be late 90s, but mostly mid-2000s stuff. So I'm going to keep the train rolling on stuff I picked up from Austin. He spotted this at a reseller store that we go to quite often, and I was able to pick up Metroid Prime, the first game. I haven't played this one. I have played Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and it has been far enough ago that we could do a Friday night rental of this or Prime 2. But a few years ago, Austin and I put together a favorite GameCube games list, which we should do an episode on at some point. But it wasn't quite in my top 10, Metroid Prime 2 that is, but it was in my like 11 to 15 range. So I was very excited to pick that up. And staying with the GameCube here, I have to give a shout out to a friend of the program named Ben. Good friend of mine. He's been over, he's seen the game room, he knows I collect this stuff. And he had a family member who had a GameCube and some stuff and was moving from like one apartment to another, and they were like, hey, do you want this stuff? And he was like, yeah. So he got a GameCube and a handful of games, and a few that he tried, he just didn't really like the games. It just wasn't really his cup of tea. And so he asked me if I wanted them, and of course I said yes. And also I was like, do you want me to make a cash offer? Do you want to trade for some of my games? Like, I want to be fair about this because he gave me some pretty cool stuff. And he pretty much insisted, like, no, I don't want you to buy these off me because I got them for free. And I still gave him some games because I was like, I can't take these and leave you empty-handed. So I gave him a couple other GameCube games, but Ben hooked us up with a GameCube copy of Zelda Twilight Princess. Heavy hitter. Like, good luck finding this one. I think it's going for $80-90 right now. We have it on the Wii, and I remember Kevin and I trying it back in the day and not really getting into it, but I've heard that the GameCube is the superior platform unless maybe you're a fan of the HD remake on the Wii U. So pretty stoked to play this. It's definitely going to be a early 2021 Friday night rental. So stay tuned for that. And Ben also got us a loose copy of Wind Waker. And we already have Wind Waker. I've talked about Wind Waker a multitude of times on the program. As you know, it is my favorite Zelda game, so I have admitted that Breath of the Wild is the best Zelda game, but Wind Waker is the most near and dear to my heart. And I let him know, I was like, I already have this, so like, if I sell it, is that okay? Do you want some money from it? And he was like, no, like, do what you gotta do, keep it, sell it, whatever. So we will probably be trading that in for some trade credit as well. And moving on to the last GameCube game I wanted to show you guys. This was not from Austin, but I picked it up from a flea market. There's a seller who we have had a relationship with for years now. I got my Kirby 64 box from him like in the early show back in the day. And among other things, Beetle Adventure Racing, Final Fantasy on the NES. And from him, I picked up a couple games. I'm going to show you two of them right now. One of them was on the GameCube, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. I don't know too much about this game. I really don't. It's one that I want to say this is the first Nintendo Final Fantasy since the Super Nintendo era, because they didn't have any on the N64. And just looking at the art style captivated me, and it also reminded me of a Nintendo Power issue back in the day. I remember around 2005-ish, I want to say, this is when that came out. It says 2004 on the back here, but I was just captivated by this art style. Everyone knows I'm a big Square Enix guy, and it also has Game Boy Advance compatibility. So I'm interested to see what what all there is to offer with that game. And the last disc-based game I have to show you guys that I picked up, oh boy, am I excited for this one. It is not GameCube. This is the one that I said might be late 90s. 1997 it looks like. For the PlayStation 1, I picked up from that flea market Ogre Battle. This is a hard to find game as well. This is a, I believe it's kind of a tactical RPG. I don't know if it's turn-based per se. It might be a little more real-time. I've played a bit of the 64 one with Austin years ago, but this is one that has been recommended to me for years. I've just been, not quite ready to pull the trigger based on the price range, but given that this seller has been so friendly to us to work with, to make deals, he gave me a great deal on this game. I couldn't pass up, and Austin said he would have bought it. I think he said he was going to buy it if I did pass it up. So really excited to try this one. Another that definitely will be a Friday night rental in 2021. Switching back to not game stuff. This may be a little underwhelming for everyone else, but I wanted to show this because it is something that is a part of my daily routine, which is drinking G Fuel. I love G Fuel. I'm not sponsored by them, so this is legitimately, like, I'm saying it because I truly believe it. It's a great source of energy. It keeps me hydrated because I mix it with my water, and I've been drinking water all day. And a couple flavors they came out were gaming related this year, so I had to pick them up. Starting out with the Crash Bandicoot 4 G Fuel Wumpa Fruit flavor. It tastes just like Sweet Tarts. It's so good. It's so good. I had some of this morning. And also the Sonic Peach Rings. So we got our friend Sonic right there on the tree. The Sonic Peach Rings, which I had a bottle of this before I ran a half marathon in October, and I ran my fastest time ever. That's not even a joke, that's real talk. This makes you go fast. So a couple things that not only did I like, but also I feel like just given how much they put into like the art style of these labels, I plan on keeping and putting somewhere in the game room for these gaming related ones. We are down to what I would say is the heavy hitters, the S tier of the pickups that I wanted to show you guys. So just a couple more things of mine before I hand out the gifts. Going back to games, we have 2 new additions that will soon be in the display that I am very excited to show you guys. Number 1 here is a complete in-box copy of Star Fox 64. It's a Rumble Pack box because the game required the Rumble Pack, so you can see there's more width to this box than there would be for a standard N64 game. Unfortunately, because of that, I don't have a box protector that fits this, but this is a game that I actually did not play as a kid. I've actually never played this game, which is shocking to myself, but it's one that I specifically remember my college cross-country coach always saying, like, this, I think besides Mario Kart and maybe Smash Bros, like, this was his favorite one-player N64 game, and he was always shocked that I had never played it. So this is one that Austin found at one of our favorite retail stores, told me the price, and I was like, yes, like, please, I need it. I need it! And that was the move on this one. The other one came from that same store, and gosh, just, it was one of those where as soon as I saw it in Game Chaser lingo, I knew I had to have it. And as you can see with our tree setup here, unfortunately Cyndaquil is a little bit cut off up there, but we have the Johto starters on the tree. Gen 2 has always been my favorite, the Johto region. Austin and I talked about that at length in our Pokemon generation rankings. So because of both that, because of who we have on the tree, because we've recently launched a series on this game, I had to pick up this complete in-box copy of Pokemon Stadium 2. Just looking at the shine of that box, it's absolutely beautiful. It's in near perfect condition. There's very little wear to the corners. We've already got it in a box protector, of course. And I am actually selling the copy of this game to a friend of the program, Jake. Jake, I'm glad you were interested in that deal, and I hope you enjoy the game. And the last non-game item before we get to my friend's gifts, which I'm sorry guys for building so much suspense. Please don't set the bar too high. But I had to show these because I'm really right on the edge. I'm leaning a little bit. Oh, I just spoiled it. I'm leaning on a bit to becoming a collector of Nintendo Power. I really think that this is I don't know if I would call it an untapped market, but let's think about it right now. Pokemon cards, values shooting through the roof. Video games and boxes, values shooting through the roof. It hasn't quite caught up with Nintendo Power and strategy guides. And so I want to get in on the ground floor of picking up some of these for a budget. I mean, you can pick these up for anywhere from $2-3. That's not common, but you can pick these up for $2 or $3, up to maybe 10 or 12. I think I got this one for $6 or $7, and just the nostalgia of, oh man, this was E3 in I think 2002 or 2003. Mario Sunshine, Wind Waker, like all the stuff going on. So I'm going to show you guys just a couple of pages in this. There's a welcome to Animal Crossing, and I mean, think about it. This was the first Animal Crossing game, so people didn't really know what this is. They're like, is this Zoo Tycoon? Like, what's going on? And it's like, this is what you do. You build a house, you make money, you go fishing. And also just seeing little advertisements like this. I saw it just, here we go. You can order an ocarina for $39.95 if you wanted one. So little things like that just bring back great memories to me. And I also had to show the other edition I picked up, which is the Mario Party 2 Nintendo Power from, I believe this is from 1999. And again, in great condition. I think I paid maybe $10 for this one, 10 to 12. But for me, I had to get this one. Super nostalgic. You look at the advertisements as well as some of the things they have to offer. So they have a little preview of the new, quote unquote, new Mario Party 2 game with some of the boards, some of the items. There's also some of the advertisements in here just floored me. You've got a Pokemon card advertisement for base set, jungle, and fossil, which is just absolute bananas. And not only that, but I mentioned this when Austin and I did our Pokemon generation rankings, that I remembered seeing a preview of Pokemon Gold and Silver with Japanese text before it came out. And as you can see, that preview is right here. I remember seeing this as a kid, seeing these starter Pokemon that are in our tree now, and just having a glimpse into this future world that, wait a second, in the Poke Rap, when they said there's 150 or more to see, to be a Pokemon master is my destiny, these are the more. These are the next generation of Pokemon. We did not know their names. We didn't know anything about the region, I guess, unless you could read Japanese. But we were just, I remember that it brought back insane memories. And with getting both of these, I was like, I need to collect more Nintendo Power. So we'll see. That's going to be another goal for 2021, is getting some more Nintendo Power, and potentially, as we revamp the game room, maybe doing a magazine rack or something like that. It is the grand finale, people. It is time to give out gifts. We have a gift for Sergio, and I want to just say a few words to each of these guys for everything they've done this year. Sergio, he does a lot more behind the scenes than you guys see. He not only provides great commentary for our videos like he has today, but he's just such a great listener. And it's been such a journey. I think we adopted him about 4 years ago in an episode of Mission Nostalgia. And Sergio, this show, this channel, we wouldn't be able to do it without you. So thank you for all that you do. And for this Christmas, I got Sergio a family-size box of the Sergio cereal. Look at that. Sergio, you're a little more chonk boy than this Pikachu, but this is Sergio's gift for the Christmas season. And next we have my friend Mike here. So to give you guys a little bit of an update, since July, I think that was when we introduced him, Mike went through our summer internship program. He completed the internship and then joined us on the GameSLAM men's retreat, the Western Michigan men's retreat, where we picked up all of the PlayStation stuff. And we have decided to present Mike with a full-time offer. So Mike will be retained on staff in 2021. He still will not be on the payroll, but Mike will be sticking with us. And so I had to get this for Mike. It is from the same flea market seller who I mentioned, who we got Ogre Battle from in Final Fantasy. Mike, I have been able to pick up for you a complete in-box copy of Super Mario Bros. 3. This one also just about as clean as they come. The cartridge inside also just minty fresh. And this game is so special to me. There are countless things I could say about it. Being someone who had a Nintendo before I was in kindergarten, and having this game before I was in kindergarten, every time I turn this game on and I hear that music, and I hear the music that they play on the World 1 map, and I hear the music that they play in World 1-1 and 1-2 and the different stages, it takes me back to that living room in front of the fat TV, running into Goombas, tripping over turtles. And I brought this game to Glen Arbor a few years ago, Northern Michigan, with some friends. We were there for a running event, but I brought my Nintendo, I brought this game and a few others. And one of my friends, who is not a Nintendo guy, he's more one of those new Xbox Call of Duty guys, at the end of our weekend, he was like, this is so much better than everything I normally play. And I just think this is one of those games that will never grow stale. It will never grow old. And even though it doesn't hold a tremendous amount of monetary value, I believe I picked up this complete for $35 or $40. It's priceless in my book. This is one of the most special things that I could display. It's what initially opened the door for me to gain a passion for gaming. And so, yes, Mike, this is your Christmas present. I hope you like it. And I'm so excited to add that to the collection. And like I said at the beginning, there is one more person who is going to be receiving a gift. He does not know that. I'm going to bring him on. He's going to show something and think he's just part of doing what I'm doing. And then we're going to sneak the gift in and call it a day.
Can I say the intro?
Well, this is kind of at the end of the video.
I've always wanted to say it.
Let's hear it.
Top of the morning or afternoon or evening, whenever you may be watching. I'm Kevin Loughlin. I do not represent any of the letters in GameSLAM.
You're the L. You're the L.
I've got the L.
Got the L.
I'm happy to be here.
So I have explained to Kevin that what we've been doing here, showing 2020 pickups, and also that it's just everyone at the house, the GameSLAM house, Christmas. So he is here to show his 2020 pickups.
A little lighter than Scott, but I got some things I'm excited about here. First one, a little bit controversial. This is the SNES Mini emulator. This has been great for me as one who enjoys playing the games a little bit more than collecting. Just a lot of options. Earthbound's one that I can't justify the cost yet. But yet, you see, I'm leaving that window open. But I played through Super Metroid this year. It was fun. Looking forward to diving into some RPGs later. Big collection of the year was actually a gift from Mr. Scott here. Super Mario 64 closed in box, complete.
Absolutely beautiful.
Just a beautiful game, all around, beautiful box. Real fired up about that. We gotta break into the Switch version of it too.
We do, yes. I actually have that like right here. And I didn't show this, so good reminder. I forgot to show my Switch games I picked up. So starting out with, as we mentioned, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I plan to start with Sunshine. That will soon be on Friday Night Rentals. And also I picked up Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. So I'm excited to try both of those out, probably in a Friday Night Rentals. So the one thing, the one extra thing before we end that I did not tell you about is I gave gifts. I gave a gift to Sergio, and I gave a gift to Mike, and there also is a gift for you. Everyone gets a gift.
Wow.
So
I'm honored.
If this is, he has no idea what this is.
This is live television,
this is live. This is HBO. If you will reach right into this drawer in front of us.
Oh my goodness. Possibly the best game for the Nintendo 64.
What are we looking at here?
Extreme G. Oh man.
Complete.
Scotty and I sunk hours into this game. Mammoth Video was the local store, and we would rent this. You can kind of see some of the machines here on the back. That purple thing with teeth on it. It's creepy. No one understands it. There's a great weird techno soundtrack to this.
Oh yeah.
Hours of entertainment to be had. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. That was one as soon as Austin relayed it to me that was out in the wild.
Oh yeah.
I knew we had to have it, and that was like he said, we always rented it. We never owned the game, but just have a lot of memories like doing the racing, hearing the weird music, and that like battle mode. Too.
Oh, you'd be like sitting in the corner and you'd be out of missiles. No one really understood the strategy.
And like the
behind it.
corner map like didn't make sense.
Yeah, and then you would just explode. And you're like, oh, I'll get him next time.
So hey, that's a top shelf. That's a holy grail.
Absolutely.
As far as we're concerned. But we hope you guys enjoyed all of our 2020 pickups and gift giving.
Merry Christmas.
And yes, I want to say Merry Christmas. I also wished everyone Happy Hanukkah and Kwanzaa at the beginning of the video. So everyone enjoy whatever holidays you are celebrating. We are big Christmas guys here. And with that, also stay tuned soon for the 2020 Slammy Awards. I'm going to keep hyping it up, even though we haven't even started the awards yet, but that'll be coming soon. So with that, if you will join me, GameSLAM,
Signing off.